also played Twisted Fate. I would definitely give it in favor to Froggen, however, who's been playing really well on Twisted Fate. Could see SUPA banned away, or maybe first pick it if they value it very, very high on someone like Selfie. It is a champion you can make a lot of big plays on, but you can also get punished.
So, will there be another jungle ban here in these final two? Fizz was taking out Yasuo as well by Alliance. Will they target now with Lucian in there? For Alliance, it might be an option to force them to pick up one of those remaining two, or even ban them both away and force Impaler to play something a little bit different. It's Morgana, though, that does get taken away, and Twisted Fate will be the final ban here for Selfie. So both Elise and Evelyn are available. However, you also have to look to the likes of Rengar. I don't know about Riven.
Gragas open for the top lane.
Yeah, Gragas open for the top lane. Orianna as well, a champion that both Selfie and Froggen play. And let's not forget Riven. Don't know if he's going to be picked here today, though.
So Shug actually said yesterday he wanted to pick Riven into Lee Sin and try and counter Lee Sin by killing him early game with the very strong jungle Riven. Didn't happen. He just ended up picking it and destroying Diamond on Rengar instead. We'll take it this time with Lee Sin being banned. Otherwise, Evelyn and Elise both open here. You don't actually have to take a jungler early on because the two left, you can just trade them back and forth. And of course, Gragas top lane. Orianna first pick is something we see a lot of European teams do, and we seem to be the region who really just loves Orianna above everything else. I don't recall seeing her being first picked in any other region lately.
No, teams putting more weight onto the likes of Gragas,
exactly.
That we see first picked in here for Alliance, and maybe onto the likes of Lucian as well, although we'll see going forward now with the changes in there how Lucian's going to be stacking up. But Alliance take the Gragas as mentioned here. What will they pick as their second choice? Actually, it will be an AD carry, but it's going to be Corki for Tabzz.
So it could be just a Lucian pick now for MrRalleZ, and we have a very standard AD carry setup, which we have seen a few times already this week. And Xerath, of course, being open, but with the Orianna, don't expect it to be locked in. I think Selfie will take the Orianna. It's been a long time since I've seen the top lane Orianna, at least. And it actually fits SUPA's playstyle, because they talk about how they're weak early game, and Orianna is a very strong laner, so therefore it could explain the first pick. And generally, we see Orianna's always get a lot of farm in Europe.
So, hovering over a couple of different supports here. They took Morgana away themselves, which I thought may have meant, okay, maybe they're going to go in for Leona now to be picked up, although that's still an option here for Alliance. Thresh is still open, which both KaSing and Nyph have put some great performances in on the past. Braum, of course, the champion which KaSing has also been favouring. Nyph played Braum as well yesterday. Looks like it is going to be the, I think we can safely say, one of the strongest lanes right now with Lucian and Braum.
Yeah, very standard lane as well. All about getting the double tap with Lucian onto Braum when he applies the passive, and then you get a very early stun, and just trying to apply some burst damage here. And also SUPA, when they pick Lucian, they actually sometimes want to lane swap themselves, because Lucian is very strong in one-on-one, he's very safe. So we could see them try and lane swap in this game as well. Maybe to shut down Wickd a little bit. Try and force him away from his tower and deny him a lot of farm, so he won't become this lane bully, which Gragas really is.
So, SUPA then. Final couple of choices, looking for top lane and jungle. Rengar, a champion which Impaler's gone to, although yesterday in that win over Roccat, he brought Elise to the table, was very convincing with Elise as well, ended up 3-1-6. Zillion is just KaSing. He's fallen into that Troll the Catholic mode where he just hovers
all the supports.
Pretty much anything. And that will obviously be switched out. Rengar, though, is a very real possibility for the SUPA crew. They switch over, though. Going to be Elise. Mundo as well. He's a champion that's really fallen out of favor, especially here in Europe. Mimer's the only one that's played him recently.
So he's a champion who's actually very strong against double AP, because you become so tanky they can't burst you down, and you just run around them and you keep doing damage, and just regain all your HP, and they cannot take you down. You need an AD carry with Blade as Ruin King is the best to take down Dr. Mundo, and of course an Ignite here. And normally on a mid laner like Xerath, you don't actually take Ignite, because you're never really going to be in range to use it. So it could mean we only see Ignite on Nyph, and it would make it very hard to take down Mimer in the late game if he becomes this monster in the late game.
Well, yesterday when we had Impaler on the analyst desk to talk through the games, and we were walking downstairs after that Alliance match, I said to him, so you're playing Alliance Storm? He's like, yeah, I'm not sure if we need to ban Riven. I don't know if we need to ban it. They obviously decided, no, we don't need to ban Riven. Shook is going to take it for a second game in a row, though. And yesterday, he got off to such a good start, had like 3 kills 10 minutes in, and he just ran rampage. 7-0-3 ended that game.
It was very, very strong pick in the early game. You have a lot of damage early on here, and if you find someone like Elise, you might be able to take it down one-on-one. It was the whole idea behind the Riven pick, according to Shook. Find the enemy jungle and just fight him straight up. And we did see him build a lot of damage. Only build a Randuin's Omen like 35 minutes into the game. So the rest of Alliance here might need to adjust to his build and say, do we need a tank here or not? Otherwise, we just got full damage. I mean, Wickd built full AP on Gragas. The only tank that was Nyph as a support without any armor or any MR in the game yesterday. And there was some issues for them to actually close out the game. Could be the same here, unless someone like Wickd actually want to build a bit tanky.
Well, you guys have seen the champions. Now tell us which mid laner you think will lead their team to a victory. Tweet at LOL Esports with hashtag SHC Selfie or hashtag AllFroggen, and we'll check your predictions in game. Xerath again, a second game in a row for Froggen. Actually finished 0-1-9 with it yesterday, so kind of typical. I suppose no kills is one thing, but the fact that he got so many assists just shows that he was playing Xerath the way that you should be playing Xerath, safe in the back of the team and just hammering away.
Or that Shook was kill stealing throughout the entire game.
Or that.
Could have been the same here. I mean, he could have got a few kills at least. But I like the Mundo pick here. If Mimer gets to the late game, he's going to be very, very hard to kill for Alliance. And we need to see if he can actually get to late game point.
Well, let's find out. We're going to get into game. It's the Super Hot Crew versus Alliance. Victory here for the Super Hot Crew would really help them out in that mid-table area after they took down Roccat, after we've just seen Millennium actually picking up victory over SK Gaming. However, they are taking on the top team in the league right now. Alliance back to winning ways after their match against Gambit. However, you also have to say that Gambit right now are a shadow of former Gambit's self.
100%.
And this is the game where we really see if Alliance have fixed what problems they had.
And the same picks pretty much, if you look at these solo laners and jungle for Alliance as they had yesterday, where Gragas as well were from Wickd, just instant lock, really putting a lot of priority on getting this Gragas top lane. And it was a little bit surprising with SUPA Crew first picking Orianna and actually give Gragas over to Wickd, but it was simply because they wanted to pick Mundo into this double AP. And worked even better for them with the fact that they are against a Corki, so could see Tabzz go Blade of the Ruin King after his Trinity Force here as second item if he wants to try and deal with Mimer. Otherwise, again, we need to see what's going to happen late game if Mimer becomes this super tank, which Mundo can become.
Well, early game, up until now, is pretty passive. We see that almost every single area has 2 wards down. One from Alliance, one from Super Hot Crew in every important position there. Also going to be seeing as well, just to touch on the summoners there that we see in the mid lane, Selfie and Froggen, both running the heal and flash combo.
So no teleports this time. And again, we just talked about how Xerath, you have long range. If you have Ignite, you're playing him, well, at least you're getting in a very aggressive situation where you move close to people and you can actually get in range to use the Ignite, so heal makes a lot more sense. And we've seen teleport a few times, but normally you pick it against something like Twisted Fate, where you know he's gonna roam around and you want to follow him. So heal makes a lot of sense for both the mid laners. And we might just be looking at a farm war in the mid lane. So, oh, Nyph, you're all alone.
Yeah, Nyph really is all alone there. That's a good play coming out. We'll actually just interrupt Impaler a little bit, but not really doing too much. But we're actually going to take a listen in after some interesting picks here in Champ Select.
Because they only have magic damage.
There's like some kind of similarity between the comp we have now and we have yesterday.
Yes, Tabzz.
I agree.
Captain Obvious to the rescue.
Good comment by Tabzz here, really showing he's paying a lot of attention to what his team is playing.
So, we'll see if they can play it as well as they did yesterday. We already talked about the possible weaknesses that they had, struggling to finish off things. But as you rightly pointed out, Shook got Randuin's really late, and that was one of the problems that they had. They couldn't tank those initial couple of hits to really get the towers started off. So, we'll see if he builds differently. We'll probably build differently if he doesn't get 3 kills in the next 8 minutes like he did yesterday as well.
He definitely got a very good start. A start you can't really expect to always get, which meant he got very, very fed. Very fast in the game and could actually kill anyone one-on-one if he wanted to. But again, just to touch on this Lucian from SUPA Crew, yesterday they did the same thing where they lane swap with it, and it's simply because he is so good by himself. He's very safe with his dash, and he has a lot of damage. And if he builds something like a blade as first item, it's going to be hard for someone like Wickd to actually stand against him if they keep this lane swap going on here. And also they avoid Wickd being so strong in the laning phase as Gragas is, where Dr. Mundo often is fairly weak, and simply dodge around it and just try and pick up as much farm on the top lane as they can.
Saw that ward there, possibly a bit of a lifesaver. The hook coming in on towards Mimer. Have they got the damage? The Ignite is down already by Nyph, but no follow-up. Mimer's able to just walk off. He had flash as well, so should have been safe either way.
Had the flash here, simply an Ignite to try and force the flash away to make Mimer panic. Didn't happen, however. He can now teleport back to the lane and just pick up some farm if the wave should be pushed down to his tower. And Wickd up here in this top lane, because KaSing is roaming very early on, even though there's nothing really to roam towards, actually means Wickd can get a lot of farm by himself now.
Yeah, not really feeling the pressure that you'd normally expect from a 2 versus 1 lane swap. There's Froggen and Selfie. Again, max range out of Orianna and out of Xerath. And look at this. This is where that roaming, though, could pay off. If they're able to get around the back of Froggen, as they are going to be going in for the gank here. Summon a heal already used by Selfie is going to go north. That's the rest of his team starting to collapse in. And now Shook finding himself a little far away. There's the Q coming in from Braum. 2 more auto attacks needed if they're to get this done. I don't think they will here. I think Shook's going to be able to walk away from it. Impaler does come around. There's a lantern anyway. Nicely escaped from by Alliance.
So only the heal was actually used by Selfie here. As soon as Alliance saw him move up towards their own jungle, they knew someone was coming here. Let's just back away. And Shook saved his jumps to dodge around the cocoon and escape. Still in the jungle of Super Hawk. Now he needs to be really careful because KaSing and Impaler might find him.
They don't know
I'm not even
there,
looking for him.
They don't know he's there. That's the problem. No vision on that side, or on that side of the map, on their own side of the map here inside the jungle. And we see that Shook just going to wait. He's going to spot Impaler and KaSing coming around. And there's the Spiderling actually just spotting him out there. As you mentioned, Nyph did come up to give him a bit of help. Doesn't need to stick around too much to Corki in that bottom lane since he's up against the Mundo anyway, and that's not a really scary 1v1 for him. KaSing actually trying to get a bit of XP here going through the jungle with Impaler.
And both these top laners now had some time to be one-on-one with the enemy AD carry and managed to get a lot of farm, even though it is a lane swap. Now KaSing and Impaler joining in. There's a ward though from Alliance, so they will easily spot them out and should be able to just back away.
Yeah, if they die here, then something's really wrong after spotting Impaler already coming through. See that Nyph, not really scared, just dodging off to that side of that briefcase. Just to touch quickly on early CS totals here. Slight lead for MrRalleZ when you look at AD carries, but only very slight. Bit of a bigger lead in the mid lane for Selfie. Top lane also is approaching 10 CS lead for Wickd, as we said, in this more 1v1 lane as it's become. He's doing really well to follow up there. However, the Super Hot crew, Elise early on, are they going to go think about Dragon?
Well, the moving here would be very, very risky to go Dragon when the dual lane from Alliance is in the bottom side and your own AD carry without a teleport is stuck in the top lane.
True.
So Dragon would have been a ballsy play. Decided not to do it anyway and actually got the teleport out of Wickd here, so we could see MrRalleZ run from the top lane straight to Dragon and abuse the fact there's no teleport on Wickd and he's stuck in his top lane now.
They're going to have to keep Mimer around then if they want to go for that one. And they are pinging Dragon, so Super Hot crew are going to look to get that one started off. Duo of Alliance is still on that bottom side. Here we go. Mimer going to kick that one off. Nyph already moving in. Will spot 4 of the Super Hot crew. MrRalleZ not quite there just yet, but this Dragon between them going down pretty quickly. Might be up to Froggen to actually look for a bit of a steal on this one, but I think this is the Super Hot crews. Nyph just going to be there to watch it go down. Yeah. First Dragon of the game goes the Super Hot crew's way.
Simply just wanted the timer, maybe going to do something to KaSing here. Oh. Missed the hook, but they might force a flash. Never mind, jumping out here. But good timing by Super Hot crew. They saw the teleport from Wickd in the top lane. Instantly, they just went for Dragon. Perfect timing as well in the case that Tabzz had already recalled to base. So bit of mistiming for Alliance with the recalls here, giving Super Hot crew a very easy Dragon where they could only get the timer due to Nyph staying around, but couldn't really do anything to actually stop it.
That's interesting. Yeah, Shook actually going pretty low from it. Did use his smite to kill off, or to get it low in anyway, and that will be Froggen getting himself the blue buff. We'll see if Alliance want to challenge for the Super Hot crew blue buff. They've actually put a ward down on it as well, so they'll see that one coming up. We'll see if they can actually pull anything off on that front, whether they even want to try for that one. Currently, Froggen has managed to claw a little bit back in the CS war in that mid lane. Going to be about 60 to 67 by the time this wave comes through.
And both AD carries actually build BF Sword as the very first item. Normally in Corki we always see Trinity Force as the first item because it gives him kind of a smooth power spike and it makes him pretty strong in the laning phase. But getting an early BF Sword is definitely not bad either for the laning phase. So simply because they were both in the lane swap and just farming by themselves, they got enough gold to go back, get an early BF and push. Both looking to rush for Infinity Edge. And I wonder if Tabzz will build Trinity Force as the second item. Or something else here. And ooh, Wickd almost stealing the blue.
Almost. Very, very close. Selfie had just got it away. Did also see the vote from our featured matchup as well. 69% thinking that Froggen is going to be the one that wins this little encounter in the mid lane. Currently, he's behind still in CS, but it's a pretty small margin. Both of them going up towards Athene's first item, and now they look to put some pressure possibly on Wickd. He's already got Catalyst though, so he's got a lot of health.
And Mimer does have some early magic resist and his ulti, so it's going to be hard for Wickd to actually kill him. But still, you can see here Wickd taking the cleaver to his big fat belly, so he avoids the cannon to actually die and therefore denies it away from Mimer. And it's basically a matchup in favor of Wickd, and was the reason also we saw the lane swap to try and avoid Mimer falling too far behind. But now he just needs to try and get as much farm as he can, because Wickd, he's on a rampage once again, looking at the farm. He did the same thing to Kuban yesterday.
Farming like a beast, no doubt about that one. 30 CS lead that he's got. Actually, there was a ping here from the SUPA crew onto Froggen in the mid lane. Possibly thinking about trying to get in there. He's already put a lot of pressure onto Selfie, and there's the ultimate coming out. Selfie gonna get hit by 2 out of the 3 charges. Still fairly safe for recall. Froggen's got good range, but it's not going to be enough range to actually clip onto Selfie anymore.
Still, he did manage to force him back. Maybe a bit too early compared to what Selfie actually wanted to do. Couldn't actually push out the wave with someone like Impaler and then recall. So Froggen can now push it in, deny some farm, and then go back himself and should be able to pick up the Fiends just like Selfie did here.
So one thing that's different today is that Shook has not got that dream start with Riven. I think yesterday at this stage he was already 3 or 4-0. And
True.
Today, no kills coming in, no first blood up until now. And look at this, the junglers reading each other impeccably. Shook up there, Impaler already waiting off to the side as well. Just in case he gets pulled in there, is Mimer actually getting altered back in towards them, but the presence of Impaler just sends Alliance running.
Everyone disengaged very fast here, even though Alliance actually level 9 and level 7 on Shook, just 1 level above what Impaler was before he actually got level 7 as soon as he ran into the lane and a minion died. So never mind, at least for the junglers here. But pretty obvious, Alliance didn't really want to go into a big 2v2 fight. As soon as they saw him, Impaler just running away. And Froggen doing the same thing. And Corki out to ward. As soon as he saw Impaler, he just flashed away.
And heal.
Whoa.
That was, well, I mean, we can see, we're watching this game and seeing that both teams are playing incredibly safe and incredibly standard farm lane phases. That was maybe a little bit too much though. Heal and flash used by Froggen. Obviously felt like he was in some real trouble with Selfie and Impaler both stacking up there, although they weren't particularly too close. Hook coming out, MrRalleZ dashing last second away from it. So no first blood, 12 minutes into the game. We are seeing though a good almost 2,000 gold for MrRalleZ, so he's going to go home and spend. Tabzz has already been home to spend. He's actually got a Phage there as his second item.
Mixing it up here, he's actually going to go Trinity Force as the first item, even though he had a BF Sword. He's not going to complete the Infinity Edge yet. Just simply wanted to pick it up because he had enough gold the very first time he backed. And now looking to farm towards Trinity Force. Only issue about Trinity Force Infinity Edge is it's very, very expensive. It's probably the most expensive items you can actually build here. So it's a bit risky if you get shot down early on, but because both AD carries have just been farming in these solo lanes and now farming against each other, but nobody really touching each other, just farming, they can both do it.
Still without a single kill in this matchup. Pickaxe was bought by MrRalleZ. Infinity Edge first item for him. And I think MrRalleZ is one of the only Lucian players that's really consistently not going for Blade of the Ruined King as first item these days.
Yeah, true. He's following the same path we see over in OGN, and often in NA it's actually very rare we see the Blade of the Ruined King Ghostblade outside of Europe.
Yeah.
It seems to be just AD carries like Reckless and Creaton who really loves to do it and get this mid-game power spike, where most Lucians around the world want to build Infinity Edge into Static Shift, or Phantom Dancer, whatever you just choose. Phantom Dancer better late game, but Static Shift gives a lot of upfront burst and wave clear. But it seems to be the standard here, and just ignore the mid game power spike and just build straight for late game as fast as possible.
Well, we see that for Shook. His first item is now complete. It's the Spirit of the Elder Lizard, so definitely different to the path that he went yesterday, where he had like Last Whisper and Hex Drinker, Brutalizer by the end of that game, and a Randuin's after about 40 minutes.
Yep.
And that's when he decided he needed to go tanky. Actually, there's a bit of damage coming in, but with that Phage on the side of Tabzz, he's got an extra bit of health in there that keeps him nice and strong in this lane phase. And Impaler tried to come around, but there's that corner ward there by the Dragon Pit, which has just spotted him coming through. So no opportunities for Impaler to come out. And that will mean that no first blood, at least for now, coming down. And you can see the gold between them, just 300 the difference. And that's just because, well, there's no towers gone down, no kills, no dragons as of yet.
Only actually one dragon.
That's a lie, yeah.
Subaru picked up the first one. Next dragon is alive, but none of the teams really moving for it. And we talking about Shook's build, he actually has to go for a lot of damage items once again, because he's the only real physical damage source. Corki, a lot of mixed magic and physical damage, and then of course with double AP solo laners, you need some physical damage on the Riven, otherwise it's too easy for someone like Mimer to just spam magic resist and you will never ever kill him. We do see as well Mimer, Spirit Visage as the first item, so perfect for him on Dr. Mundo. And once again, making it hard for Wickd to kill him, but Wickd can then focus on towers or just farming or roaming around if he wants to.
Well, there is the first tower of the game going down. Wickd finishing that one off, but just trying to deny a bit more farm as he went through. That will be a bit more gold over to Alliance. 700 gold lead for them. And look at this, Impaler being a sneaky spider at the moment. Has got Dragon down to half HP. I don't see any challenge from Alliance either.
He did the exact same thing yesterday, where he simply walks up to Dragon here, repels over the wall, uses sweeping lens to see if there's any ward nearby. Nope, okay, and then he just takes the Dragon. No timer for Alliance, not even a single ward to actually spot him running out, which means they have no idea the Dragon has just gone down. And we'll have to just rely on seeing it on respawn on the minimap, and therefore give Subaru the chance when the next Dragon spawns to set up a few seconds in advance, and maybe catch Alliance out of position. They might even move for Dragon now.
Well, they are, but it's
not there.
Sad face.
Sad face.
Yeah, no. Not knowing when exactly that's gone down, as Wickd and Mimer again having a bit of a tussle in this top lane. It's the annoyance, really, of Dr. Mundo. He can stick to you pretty easily, and Wickd deciding, you know what, I've had enough of this. Throws down his ultimate and just knocks him away. And
that's the thing about Mundo against double AP. It's so hard to actually kill him unless you invest everything from the AP champions into him. Impaler was looking for a gank, but a bit like Shook's ganks in this game here, nothing really comes from it.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Mundo as well. Spirit Visage first item. Not only is it great against double AP with the magic resist in there, it also gives you that extra health regen, which just fits Mundo so incredibly well. And may, with the resurgence of Gragas in this top lane, may just see a bit more of a heavy return of Dr. Mundo in the future. So now that Wickd and Mimer just going to butt heads once again. Mimer, in fact, did pop his ultimate there, and he's going to be regenning his way all the way back up to almost full HP. And look at this, Shook actually coming in behind. He's got vision of Selfie. There's the ultimate coming out. Froggen stun comes down, but not enough damage there.
Wanted to just surprise him and flash stun him while all the burst from Froggen's ult was landing down onto Selfie. Didn't happen though, flashed away and used the heal. So trade Elise flash from Shook here for both summoners on Selfie. Could look to try and gank him here within the next few minutes and abuse the fact both summoners are gone. But as you just pointed out with Dr. Mundo, it's perfect for him with Spirit Visage. We're gonna see him more and more with Gragas in the top lane. And over in Korea, they've been playing him non-stop for the last few weeks as well, because of Kale and Lula being popular in the top lane. It was just in Europe, it kind of died out, and people played Renekton or Aatrox or the stupid Yorick.
Yorick's not stupid.
He's pretty stupid.
Yeah, a little bit. I can't really argue with you on that one, I'm afraid.
I think he won one game. I think Yorick won one game in Europe.
Well, that's not exactly the best win rate. We've seen him in the jungle as well. Let's not forget.
And he did win.
Did bring him out, and he did win with that one as well. So Impaler just tried that gank to top lane once again, but you see why Gragas also popular, got that extra mobility from his body slam, just gets him out of the way of any possible danger. We're almost 20 minutes into this game, and there's not a kill on the board just yet. Froggen doing some good damage there to Selfie, but again, not quite got enough to burst him down. Both of them got nearly to the large rod and the Athenes. The blasting wand is the extra for Selfie. I'm guessing that Froggen's actually sat on... Actually, he's not. He's only got 500 gold, so...
But we see the same thing again, which we often see with the Orianna mid pick. You simply farm like an absolute beast, and you will outfarm the other mid laner because you focus so much on taking the Wraith camps. And Selfie's been doing the same thing here. So he is ahead in CS, even though some of them are just from the small Wraiths and only gives like 5 gold each, but still, it all counts. And Froggen looking to catch out Selfie and get some poke onto him.
Yeah, good bit of poke there. Not enough again to get him the kill. Did have his ulti, decided not to use it. There's actually a buff steal from Alliance, so red buff going to be taken away. And that goes over to Shook, so nice little steal. We'll see then if the SUPA crew try and do anything back on the top side of the map. Right now, Shockwave going to come in, pulls in 2, but it's not actually enough to do really any damage to them, and they're able to finish off the turret. Second one of the game here for Alliance, and look at that gold. Almost bang even.
Very good move here by Alliance. First they took the red buff. Instead of returning to the bottom lane, they just went straight for mid lane. Only Selfie was there to defend, and Impaler couldn't do anything once he actually joined in. And both KaSing and MrRalleZ was standing, sleeping in this bottom lane, not even reacting to first the blue buff, or red buff, sorry, being stolen. And then Alliance not even moving towards the bottom lane, but actually moving up towards the mid lane here. So, lack of wards in their own jungle before it happened. Couldn't actually see Alliance move to the mid lane, and simply not reacting and giving up a free tower.
Oh, Wickd actually, well, knocked Mimer against the wall then. Could have probably got a turret hit off of him if it have positioned that a little better. Now we see the red buff counter actually. Impaler lost his to Shook and will go straight up there, take it away. Shook's actually doing great. And we'll see in just a little moment that he's actually lost his own red buff. So simple trade on that front.
Trading red buffs, but at least the tower went down the mid lane in favor of Alliance once they stole it. And Froggen now down this bottom lane here. Both KaSing and MrRalleZ, however, are all the way back to their own tower.
Gotta land the CC. Nyph might be the man to do it. That's a good slowdown onto Nyph. Either way, Alliance forced the turret. That's all the outer ring now down. So slowly but surely, we're still to see a kill in this game. But Alliance are managing to pick up those towers. The SUPA crew, though, got the dragon advantage.
Alliance did the same thing yesterday against Gambit with pretty much the same comp. You had Gragas, you had Xerath and Corki, so you had a lot of focus on poking, and getting down the outer turret simply means you can now group up and move into the next round and just start poking away. Not even looking for a fight, you just want to get someone low, force him to recall, and then you take the tower, or you take the dragon, or possibly the Baron. So Alliance, with the same focus on the outer turrets as yesterday, simply get them down, get some deep wards, and now can start sieging if they want.
And at this point, I'm wondering what the longest we've gone in an LCS game is without seeing a single kill. I'm sure our lovely stat guys are going to take the hint and have a look and find out that for us. But we're 22 minutes almost into this one, and neither team been able to lock down a kill. Apparently 21 minutes and 54 seconds is the longest we've gone in the LCS.
Oh, if there's a dragon fight here, we might not make it.
No, don't back off. Wait half a minute. Get more records. Everyone wants records this season, it seems. SUPA crew are, though, moving in towards that dragon, and we are going to see that dragon going down quickly. Meanwhile, from the bottom side, Alliance coming in. Froggen actually is going to be forced away, slowed down by the constant pressure, and there is Dragon, going to be picked up by the SUPA crew, and actually they will be trying to get away. Cocoon doesn't quite land. Well, here comes Alliance. They're going to go for the fight. They're going to go on KaSing. Shockwave comes down, and it's good damage in there. KaSing actually flashing away. Colin comes through, and everything going, but no kills up until now. Impaler's low. Mimer gets hooked in, but he's Mundo. Froggen's going to turn back
die,
up.
please?
Valkyrie, Tabzz gets off, and I thought that was it. I thought the kills were going to come down, but no, they proved me wrong. 22 minutes, longest game ever in the LCS without a kill. I don't know how it didn't happen.
No,
but it
no
did.
idea. Very nice shockwave by Selfie, hitting multiple members from Alliance, but still, everyone was low. They had summons, they flashed away. Wickd managed to survive. KaSing did the same thing, and nobody died. Now, SUPA crew pushing onto this mid tower. Mimer, he doesn't even care about the tower.
So I'm being corrected in saying it's possibly just the EU LCS, that record. So hopefully our stat men are listening to me and are going to find out for NA LCS as well. Then we can tell you if it's a proper record or not. Either way, it's a damn long time for no first blood, especially after that fight where everything's thrown in and so many men are low. But this game couldn't be closer. Bang even on gold. Alliance got the turret advantage. SUPA crew had all 3 dragons. leaves us even on that front. If we look at the farm, it's basically top lane and mid lane that are evening out the difference in this one.
I'm not even sure you really want this record. I mean, not being able to pick up any kills in a game on at least 20 minutes is not exactly the best thing, but both junglers been doing the same thing. They've been farming, ran into the lane, realized, okay, we can't do anything, just backed away instantly. Nobody really went for anything aggressive, and Alliance just focused on the towers. Didn't even want the kills, and SUPA just been focusing on the dragons, as you pointed out. And everyone just been farming here, and both teams really looking to go towards the late game points. Looking at SUPA lineup, I can definitely be very happy with it. Both Selfie and Mimer will be so strong in this late game.
So coming into this week's play for the SUPA Hot Crew at 20 minutes, if you look at some of their average numbers, 180 for Selfie average at 20 minutes. He's got over 100 more than that. Similar scenario for the AD carry, similar scenario in the top lane as well. And that just shows you that this game is very, very farm heavy from the start. SUPA Hot Crew here making a move now though. They want to take their second tower of the game.
Yeah, so now SUPA doing the exact same thing Alliance did earlier in the game, move between the lanes as a group and just take down the tower. Tabzz was pushing the bot lane and Froggen was sitting in mid lane, so there was nobody to actually wave clear up in his top side. Wickd was already forced away from the tower, and just two very easy towers for SUPA Hot Crew very fast here. And the only thing Alliance seems to be getting in response is the Wraith camp.
I wonder if a game has ever finished without a kill. You'd figure it's impossible.
Don't think so.
It would surely be impossible for that to happen because you kind of just have to let your base go down and not challenge for it whatsoever. But 25 minutes in, there's still no kill here between the SUPA Hot Crew and Alliance. However, there's lots of farm, of which Selfie is having that at 30 CS, 35 CS lead in the mid lane. On the other side, it's a more considerable 60 CS lead for Wickd, who's now got Banshee's Veil on top of his Rod of Ages and a needlessly large rod as well. So slightly different build from him this time. We did see pretty much a pure AP build out of him yesterday, but this time going in there for that Banshees. On Shook's side of things with Riven, he went that Elder Lizard first, got himself Brutalizer in there now as well, so a bit more damage coming out on that front. Impaler also going the mix with a Spectral Wraith and Locket coming in second. So really similar scenarios for both teams. We see the mid laners have pretty much the exact same build as well. In fact, now it is identical, like literally the identical build between the two of them. AD carries, obviously there's a slight difference there. It's Corki, we've got Trinity Force going to go Infinity Edge second. On the other side, Infinity Edge into Static Shift. Another BF sword in there for both players as well.
So let's see if MrRalleZ want to build a Bloodthirster to get the shield against double AP, or if he wants the Scimitar to get some magic resist and a cleanse. Also to dodge around, or if he gets cleansed, if he gets stunned by Froggen or hooked by Nyph. Could definitely be an option. It's an item a lot of the AD carries really like now, because you get the movement speed for ranged after 4.10 as well, making it a very good magic resist item. Overall though, we don't really see anything special build-wise. Very standard. Wicked Banshees makes a lot of sense as well against magic damage from Mundo, magic damage from Selfie, Impaler. Only MrRalleZ really doing physical damage here, so getting some early magic resist makes him a bit beefy in these team fights, if we ever get a second team fight. We don't know yet. Might just be farming for the next 50 minutes.
Well, I have now got confirmation that this is in fact the longest game without a kill
Go EU
in
LCS.
LCS history. So records, ladies and gentlemen, are being made in this game right here. It's definitely not the record for the most kills in 20 minutes, that's for sure. But SUPA Hot Crew here are looking for another dragon. 30 seconds until that one comes up. We can see that both top laners have kind of separated from each other. In fact, they're on, confused me for a second, on opposite sides of the map. Mundo has looped all the way around the back of the Baron pit, and Wicked's like, yeah, I'm just going to push your lane up now. I think Mimer's going to farm it at the halfway point of the map. Slightly curious scenario there in that top lane, but it's all about preparing for dragon.
Oh, Selfie needs to be careful.
Oh, the hook's coming in. This is going to be first blood. Shook is going to take it. 27-40 into this game. MrRalleZ also going low at the back. They need to get away. It's a great ulti out of Wicked, and that will be the second kill. KaSing goes down to Froggen, and we saw Froggen trying to chase SUPA more, but Alliance get themselves the two, and I think they're going to push this mid lane out.
They might even go for Baron here with 2 members down. We're already 28 minutes into the game. There's a long time before Selfie and KaSing respawns. And this is all Selfie here. He's staying all by himself in the front. There was no vision of Nyph. He came in with the hook, and now Mimer's gonna go down too.
Well, he's a big tanky Mundo, and he's gonna flash over the wall, which means that he gets away with his life, and we stay at 2 kills. However, Baron may in fact be going down here, and it is going to be coming out. Mimer just going to stick around to the side. Impaler's gone down there as well. There is the Baron takedown. And it's Alliance that do manage to pick it up after 28.5 minutes. And that will leave us at 3-0. We've had 1/3 of the amount of Barons than we've had kills. Don't say that very often.
No, definitely not here. Alliance moving for the Dragon though. And this is the thing we often talk about with Selfie. He's always playing very aggressive.
Said it himself.
Yeah, exactly. He said it himself. He's staying in the front. He wants to try and make the big play, but Alliance caught him out of position, killed him, followed up with KaSing, gets the Baron now, and getting the goal lead. And when you have a siege comp and you have a Baron buff, it just makes it even harder for the other team to do anything against you. Especially because there's not really any hard engage on the side of SUPA crew either. They need either KaSing to land his ulti from range, they need Mimer to try and flank around, or a Cocoon from Impaler. It's not ideal engage, so Alliance can actually just push up, poke, back away, poke as much as they actually want.
Well, SUPA crew are looking like they are going to be taking a tower. Support will tank it up until the minions come in, and that will be their 1/3 of the game. So tied on towers now, the entire outer ring is down. So we'll start to expect a few wards to appear in enemy sides of the jungle. For now, though, it's Alliance have got a ton of wards by Baron, which they've taken. SUPA crew have warded their bottom side of the jungle. Got no vision, actually, of the top side here.
And notice here, Tabzz will actually build Bladed Rune King. As we talked about in Champs League, was an option for him, simply against Mimer to poke him down in the start once he's on 100%, because it's 8% current health you do. So in the start you do a lot of damage to someone like Dr. Mundo, get him fairly low, and then maybe the rest of Alliance can either force him out of the fight or kill him. Very smart of him to get the Blade, and also helps him survive against a comp which can't really dive onto the AD carry. It's all about Mimer just running in to a lot of people. The rest of the lineup won't really be able to follow him and try and kill Tabzz, so the Blade should be enough to keep him alive, otherwise Nyph should be there to help him. And let's see if Alliance actually want to group up and start sieging down here. Wickd has no teleport and he's very far away from the rest of the team.
Yeah, you got to feel that Tabzz should be safe unless he makes a positional mess up really during these fights. When he's got that Valkyrie, when there's so much to stop, so many slows, stuns, a flay even out of Nyph to stop Dr. Mundo from running straight through there and being able to take him down. There's the defense on the bottom side of the map. Looks like Alliance actually just going to be sieging up. Meanwhile, Wickd and Mimer having a bit of a fight in that mid lane. Wickd now got his Zhonya's Hourglass on top of the Banshees and that Rod of Ages. See them just trying to poke down, get rid of those minions as fast as they possibly can, and have a poke on towards that turret. We'll see here if the SUPA crew can actually hold on to it. There's a hook on towards KaSing, but quickly they back away from it and taking a good chunk of damage. That might be enough to get the SUPA crew away from the tower.
And again, it is the scary thing with Alliance and the Siege comp here. Give them the Baron buff, give them the regen, and they will just stand at your tower and poke away and land a hook from Nyph. We just saw the damage they can actually do onto someone like KaSing. He has a lot of HP, but he doesn't really have any defensive stats to back it up. And now Alliance just keep poking in. Wickd joining as well, doing the exact same thing they did against Gambit yesterday.
5 versus 5 in the bottom lane. KaSing will be charged with blocking as much of that damage as he can. We'll see though. That's a lot of poke that goes very deep behind the turret from the likes of Froggen. As the hook comes out, Mimer wouldn't have been the ideal target to land on anyway. Selfie got himself home guards. Gonna feel that he's gonna need them to be getting back into these fights as quickly as possible after taking the poke. I mean, Xerath super range, you got Corki blowing ultis in there. It's Wickd using his ulti actually to try and force them away. Cologne coming out, MrRalleZ being hit by Froggen's ulti from the backside. There's the shockwave. Shock's gonna go down here possibly. Oh, he's got away. He's got alive somehow out of that one. And now Impaler turned around on. There is Shock from the side to throw his ulti in. And there's one man down, but you gotta feel it's gonna be more here. Mimer the next target. This is gonna be 3 men dead for the SUPA.
Oh, he got a kill.
Somehow survived through all that damage, and that is the inner turret going the way of Alliance, and maybe more.
SUPA crew used everything on trying to kill Shock. He just dances away. They did manage to kill him. He came back in the fight, picked up a kill in the very end as well. And Alliance just showing here they are ahead, and they The AP combo from them, once again, in these team fights is very, very strong. Gambit didn't have a chance against it yesterday, and Super Hot Crew doesn't seem to be able to do anything either at this point. All about still losing the Baron.
Ooh. Froggen almost blasting MrRalleZ down to nothing there. His ulti's come up. He's going to fire his ultimate in to the base. And MrRalleZ is already healing up. Did actually connect with one, possibly a second one as well. Either way, Wickd is pushing the top lane, and I think he's actually going to take the tower. Or before, let's have a look at that fight again.
All right, so let's notice how much damage they actually put onto Shuka and how many abilities they invest into him. Ulti from KaSing, Impaler jumps him, ulti from Selfie as well, and yet the damn guy jumps away, refuses to die. Mimer is the only guy in the front line trying to actually kill him. No way for him to really chase once he gets hit by the box from Nyph. And Shuka up in his top side here. He's not done yet. He will join in. Looks for Mimer after Selfie goes down. Nothing he could do. Then Shuka comes back in. Now he's gonna die. Never mind.
Yeah. Never mind. And actually gets the killing blow as well. And he actually flashed to get the stun onto Mimer underneath that tower as well. So really nicely done. Alliance keep up their no death record so far this game. 35 minutes in. And things have moved a little quicker since that Baron takedown. Actually, really since the Dragon takedown in the first fight of this actual match where kills happened. They went straight to Baron. And since then, it's all been about Alliance. And if we look down the scoreboard here, it's an 8,000 gold lead for Alliance, 6-3 in kills. Wickd did take that inner turret on the top row as well, so only really the base and an inner turret in the middle lane left standing for the Super Hot Crew.
Baron respawning in 40 seconds. There's no teleport from Mimer, and the bottom lane inhibitor is the one being killed by Alliance, so the Super Minis will push in, and someone from Super Hot Crew needs to stay in this bottom lane and actually defend. Open up for Alliance to make some plays. They're going towards Mimer. He's all alone here.
Ah, he's Mundo. Walk away, pop your ultimate, no worries. They're going to go back here though to Dragon. Actually, there may be a bit of a challenge from the Super Hot Crew. Or maybe not. Orianna ball's in there, but it's going to be taken. Smited down in the end by Shook. We got 10 seconds to Baron as well.
You just go straight to Baron now, warded up. They even have the pink ward from before. Mimer's in his bottom lane. We just talked about how there's no teleport, so he won't be able to join in for a fight. And Alliance is already moving. MrRalleZ bottom lane as well, showing himself here. So they want to push up for the tower and maybe try and trade it for the Baron here. Let's see what Alliance wants to do.
Well, Wickd can pretty much...
Can you just take the Baron?
No. They can't.
Okay, well then
They're
go
not
back
gonna.
and defend, please.
They're actually going to push in for kills here. Selfie gets blasted there, but actually missing a couple of it. There's a big shield going out for him, and half of his health basically shielded up. But the Super Hot Crew are actually pushing here. Are they going to be able to push through? Are they going to take a fight? Alliance are starting to circle in behind
Wickd
them.
behind them down here. Backing away though.
What are they going to do? They're looking for a recall.
It's
Literally
a
the
risky recall.
least sneaky recall of all time, but oh no, they get blasted. They're going to get stopped there. It's Wickd getting it. Ultimate going to come out off KaSing. That'll knock a couple of people up, but KaSing, Mimer, both of them going low. There's the shockwave coming in. Not enough damage to pick up kills just yet here for the Super Hot Crew. MrRalleZ will be picked off as well. It was the hook of Nyph that finished it, and one by one here, Alliance are taking down the Super Hot Crew. Great hook through the wall, and that is Froggen now on a rampage. They leave Mundo because, well, he's Mundo, and he's probably going to live through this one anyway, but also maybe not a big threat to them as they just push through.
Mimer trying to buy some time, however. We did see Alliance here, didn't actually want to go Baron because they didn't feel like they needed it, and just went to this bottom lane, looked for the team fight, they got it, and can now go towards the inhibitor. We're just going to see once again Wickd tanking up the damage here in the start, and actually with his hourglass as well, he's not even close to go down, and they instant blow off KaSing here. Selfie, he looks pretty good, Tabzz trying to jump over it, gets pulled back, but there's not enough damage on the side of Super Hot Crew, and Alliance can simply clean it up here. Nobody really low enough to even be close to die. And Impaler in the very end. Thinks he's gonna escape. Nope.
Great hook from Nyph. And while that was all going on, Baron was taken by Alliance, and the inner turret in that middle lane. Inhibitor did respawn on the bottom lane though, so bit of a brief respite there for the Super Hot Crew. And have to feel for him, you know, that push on the bottom lane was kind of, let's try something here, because
they wanted to trade for Baron, yeah. They wanted to trade 1 or 2 towers in the bottom lane for the Baron because they didn't feel like they could even fight Alliance. But because Alliance didn't actually start it and went all the way down to this bottom lane, Super Crew got caught a little bit off guard, tried to recall in the bush around the tower, which was pretty obvious for Alliance to go in and stop. So actually a very good move by Alliance to not go Baron here. Credit to them. I was questioning at first. What are you actually going to do here? Are you going to go Baron? You have 2 members bot lane, or
They're going to try it again.
what are you going to do?
Well, SUPA crew are now moving towards that bottom lane once again. They're still looking for their first kill this match.
10-0. Did get some towers, so it's not a perfect game, sadly. Now, they may be looking for someone like Tabzz to run down with the wave here, but there's no real reason for Alliance to even split up as a team. They can just run as a group, push down into the base. SUPA crew is actually pinging up to the base of Alliance, but
they're going
they're
to
gonna base race.
Try it. They're going to base race. They're going to try and see if they can hold on.
Oh, now they're recalling.
Boring. Why did they not go for it? I mean, Alliance here are going to probably have this inhibitor before they can actually get in there and do anything about it. Inhib turret goes down. There's an open inhib down bottom which respawned in here, so there's going to be 2 inhibs from Alliance's side at least taken down off the map. And the Super Hot crew now, well, you know, statistics show that if you lose 2 inhibs, the chances of being able to hold on are pretty slim.
Pretty slim indeed, but they quickly realized Alliance were a bit too fast for SUPA crew to even have a chance to win their base race, and now back to just lose both inhibitors. We do actually see Mimer, he picked up Spirit of the Dancing Golem, the jungle item, simply because it gives 25% bonus HP. So it's very good on Mundo in the late game.
You just saw there the gold over time difference between the 2 teams, so even for such a long time. Because they didn't kill each other, and you know, they were just trade towers for dragons pretty much every single time. But that is obviously, since we did see the first fight of this game, Alliance have just grabbed this game by the scruff of the neck and have not really given up. There's Mimer going to be hooked in. Actually, he's going to take quite the chunk of damage there. I mean, it looks like it wasn't a lot, but that's about 2,000 health that they just took away from Mimer. So ridiculously tanky.
And again, the teams, they were so even in items. They were both looking towards the late game. It seemed like until Selfie got caught out of position, instant Baron for Alliance, a lot of towers, a lot of gold. And now we just compare the AD carries, all of a sudden Tabzz is a whole item ahead of MrRalleZ, even though they were so even in the early mid game. Really showing how much gold Alliance picked up from just the Baron.
Good dodging from Selfie there. He actually used Summoning Heal to heal himself and get that speed boost. Mimer going to be jumped on. Are they going to have enough to finish him here? Actually got damage back onto Wickd, and they didn't finish off Mimer, who had chance now to get his ultimate running for quite a while. KaSing also going to be pounced on by Froggen. Almost finished off. Surely that's enough to open up the floodgates for Alliance and finish off that final inhibitor turret. It's 2 more auto attacks.
Beautiful.
There was the Valkyrie away from Tabzz, and that is going to be the tower going down. 3rd and final inhib will be finished off as well. And now the super minion's going to start streaming in from the mid, from the top lane. Bottom lane is pushed out a little bit. That was an interesting flash from Shook. Some style points, if nothing else. And SUPA crew, they need to try and fight, do something here, because they're just going to lose the game either way. If they don't fight for itself, they're going to be focused. Use these Zhonya's, made it easy for the for Alliance to finish them off. And now only 4 men left standing on either team. They did kill Shook, of course, in that, but will that actually be enough? I think so as well, especially since Tabzz is running through Mimer. Where's the final hit? Oh, he's flashed into the base. Gets away. MrRalleZ hooked in. He's going to get bounced around. Finished off by Froggen. They're looking for even more kills here on the fountain. And Alliance, they've got their super minions coming in. They're still trying to kill off Mimer. He's not having any of that one. He's still alive in the middle of them. Finally will go down. That'll be Wickd to get the kill. KaSing will fall as well. And that Nexus finally, here in a moment or two, will go down. And Alliance win the game after 42 minutes. They did lose a kill right at the very end. Shook, the one that ended up dying to spoil the perfect scoreline. But now, what was a slow starting game, in terms of kills, I mean, objectives, there were still quite a lot of towers and dragons down by the 20-minute mark, but Alliance showing that when they finally did build that lead for themselves, no mistakes were made.
Oh, it's a very brutal comp there. Once they actually get ahead to just siege up here, poke away. We saw SUPA crew, they couldn't really engage onto them, just took a lot of damage, and once they actually tried to engage, couldn't even kill Shook. He jumped away and ended up losing the fight, but I know we talked about it in the game, but it all boils down to Selfie, over-aggressive by himself, caught out of position. Alliance gets the Baron, use it to take some towers in the bot lane to siege up with the siege comp and get such a big gold lead. It didn't even matter like late game, mid game wise anymore, because Alliance got so much gold all of a sudden. They got very far ahead in items, and there was nothing SUPA crew could do to actually come back in the game once they felt so far behind.
In some games, it's hard to tell and to really point at the exact reason
Yeah.
why a game went the way it did. In this one, it was quite clear, though, because they didn't kill each other for 28
minutes.
8 minutes, yeah, basically the longest we've seen a game go without any kill in LCS history. But it's easy because we see Selfie went down, opened up the Dragon, then the Baron, and then just a walkover, really, for the finish for Alliance. They executed it well, though. I mean, don't get me wrong, on that one, when they did get that lead, they did it well.
100%. I mean, once they got it, they knew exactly what to do. They went back, spent the gold they had, and just grouped up in the bottom lane and started pushing in and won the team fight, got the towers. Very simple play by Alliance as soon as they got the lead. But still looking very passive compared to the team we saw win 12 games in the start of the split here. Seem a little bit insecure in themselves.